Hugh, obviously there's a good feeling around the place. It was an important win on the weekend. Can you sort of talk us through, I guess, the takeaways from that result?
Yeah, it was great to bounce back. We probably wanted to get our offense going after the Dogs game. We felt like we did a lot right defensively, but we just weren't able to get the bang for our buck going inside forward and inside the forward 50. So, yeah, that was on all lines to get our ball moving up and going, and I felt like we were able to do that as well as apply really good pressure to the Pies because they're a really exciting side and really dangerous when they get up and going in that regard. So it was really good for the boys to bounce back and play well at Gabba.
I guess the important question though is Bulldogs and power losses and two big wins. How do you sort of get that consistency that you create?
Yeah, I think probably round one we didn't rock up with the right attitude, and that's what happens no matter who you play in this league. You get belted if that's the case. And then in the Dogs game, a lot probably was good, but like I just touched on, we just didn't quite have that connection right. So, yeah, we need consistency in the way we're able to get the ball going forward and win those contests in our forward half. And that's up to everyone to make sure that happens, not just the forwards. We've got to make sure that our midfielders squeeze in and get inside our forward 50 and get dangerous, and our backs play their part as well. So I think that'll go a long way to it, as well as doing a lot of stuff that we have been doing right as well throughout the first 4 weeks.
Huey, you're sort of off Broadway this weekend in Gather Round. You're in the Adelaide Hills. How do you guard against, I guess, ensuring that you've got the right attitude collectively going into this match?
Yeah, it's obviously something we'll speak about. It'll be probably a little bit of a smaller crowd than what we're used to playing at those bigger venues, but we've played in Ballarat, we've played at venues like that before, Canberra, these sort of places that are those boutique stadiums, and it's good fun, to be honest. I enjoy getting back to those places and playing like it's local footy again, like you're back at South Warrnambool playing. It's good, and you just got to bring your own energy, but I think we've done that now, so we know how to make sure that happens.
How would you assess your own form the first month of the season?
Probably not where I want it to be entirely. I think, probably like the team, there's been patches where it's been solid, but there's probably a few little things that I need to work on. I think my ball use probably can improve a little bit, and just making sure that I'm, I have that composure and have impact with the possessions I get. So, yeah, I don't think I'm where I want to be entirely, but I think that there's still improvement left in me and in the team as well, and we just want to keep getting better as the year goes on.
I think the assumption was that the inside midfield mix would just sort of work out brilliantly. You add a guy like Dunks and you add Will, and how challenging has it been trying to figure out who does what and how you guys work as a midfield group?
It's definitely a thing. I mean, when you add two amazing midfielders into the mix and they're playing large minutes in there, you've got to work out what they do, what they like to do, how they use their hands, where they run. So, yeah, it's something that throughout the pre-season and throughout the first few rounds we've been working on, that synergy and that mix. But I think we're getting a really good contribution from everyone. And you saw on the weekend, no one had a really massive game, but everyone did their bit. We had a lot of guys that around that 20 to 25 possession mark, and we're all about making sure that we have that impact when our time comes to do so, and we also do the little stuff. And I think Dunks in particular has come in and been able to apply the pressure and add a really strong defensive mind to our game.
How's your game adjusted to fit into those strengths that you mentioned, do you think?
In terms of
the way, how have you had to fit, or maybe change your game to make sure that those guys are accommodated?
I haven't had to change too much. Maybe last year there's been a couple of games where I've started out on a wing compared to inside, but I played wing throughout the start of my career, so that's nothing new for me. It's probably more so, like I touched on, just getting to know the way they run, the way they move the ball, and we've played with quite a similar mix throughout the last 3 or 4 years with Lockie, myself, JL, those guys. So, yeah, it's always going to be take a little bit of time to get used to that new personnel going through there, but personally I haven't had to change too much. I've kept doing what I've done throughout the last 4 years, and I'm hopeful that I can just keep building on it, as can we all as a collective in that midfield.
Hugh, you touched on your ball use earlier. Have you got any theories on why it hasn't quite hit the levels that you've sort of set yourself in the past few seasons?
Not really. Probably there's a few little technical things with my kicking that I've worked on over the past week or two, and sometimes you just get the ball under more pressure than what you have been in the past. So yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I think I'll be able to fix it for sure. I've just got to get to work and you know, keep working hard and getting myself in those spots where I can use the ball in a damaging way.
How have you found the formality of being the leader, like in the leadership position? You've had a month now where you've been officially a vice captain. How have you found it?
I mean, I've loved the opportunity to become vice captain. Haven't had to do too much extra apart from the few media commitments before the season started. But yeah, I'm really enjoying just working with Lockie and Harris. And working with, you know, we've already had a few challenges along the way in a couple of performances, and it's just about probably keeping the group nice and stable and the mindset within the place the same, no matter what's happening out there. And you know, we know that we've got the cattle here and the players, and we've got a really good environment. So we've just got to keep sticking to our processes and working really hard, keeping the group happy, and hopefully the footy will take care of itself from there.
What about the Kangaroos under Clarkson? Bit of a different beast.
Yeah, they've been going well. You know, obviously had a really good win over there against Freo, and they look really solid. They've got a really good midfield group, so I think that'll be a big battle in the game, our midfield versus theirs. But yeah, we'll get onto them now. We'll have our Oppo preview, and yeah, we know that every team in the comp's extremely hard to beat, and they're no different. They're going well. Yeah, they're a mature side and looking forward to the challenge.